How do I start it? I'm not sure about it. Whatever. I am too full of an energy today to listen to this wonderful song in the beginning, so let's move forward. Oh yeah, talking. Talking, and all of talking. Okay.
What do you wish of me?
Wish to talk.
If you must. Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I? Oh, what luck. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness. For the most part, Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
You must have looked quite the fool. Oh yeah, definitely.
Was I hurt? What manner of simpering weakling do you take me for? Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested. Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard.
We could become friends, you know.
Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
I might have a theory. Maybe to find out whether the man you've met hides a weapon. Maybe. To test him some way, somehow. But yeah, of course, it will be easier and probably safer to just not touch everyone. Well, people.
Do not speak to me of trivialities. Your culture is not so entirely different. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Oh yeah.
Yes, here I am. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Morrigan approves. Ow. What is going with you people? Does this girl have some kind of charm on her that everyone approves? Because usually they are only upset about me.
Yes. Well, here I am.
Here you are.
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think. Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Olay. A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot. Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney, but Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered. Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the jousts, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat.
Typical.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Olay so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death. And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
And she was raised by Dalish. Oh yeah, our people, they're everywhere. They leave steps everywhere, even if you do not recognize it. Ha! Yeah, I am an elf, believe me. I have a ear. Okay.
I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth?
Yeah.
Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you. Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea. When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Haeva, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing, she practiced her art. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love. Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the Chasing tribes. They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured by Conobar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many chastened men, and with their help, begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds.
Few questions. The first one, she told that this guy Conobar was in Hiver. Isn't Hiver belong to Grey Wardens? Okay, whatever. And now you can compare two stories. And some thousands of hours later, we'll probably be capable of supposing what the demon was.
Chantry law says it is man's pride that created
Yeah,
the Darkspawn.
we've heard it, thank
In
you.
ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium ruled much of the world we know. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city,
Once
planning
again,
to take it for themselves
they
and depose their own
believed
creator.
in the old
But
gods.
they were impure and
They
full of
probably
sin.
didn't even know
And it
about
is with the sin
Maker.
that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Wherever they went, they spread the taint of their sin. Any land
So
that
how
was
it must
touched
work?
by the taint became
Like-
blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris.
Like what the Chanter was thinking. They're like, oh, Magisters. They've never believed in the Maker because they had old gods and worshipped them. Well, yes, definitely they somehow knew there was this golden city of the Makers, and they decided to go there. Yeah, definitely. Except for the one thing they didn't know about Maker. I feel like something doesn't fit there.
Which one? I know little about your people, but I may be misinformed, and I would hate to offend you. I have heard a little about how the elves gained their freedom from the Tevinter Imperium. When Andraste began her exalted march against the Imperium, the elves joined her cause to fight their masters. The great elven leader, Shatan, born in captivity, rose up to lead his people. He foresaw a future where the elves were free. Shatan was killed when Andraste was betrayed, but the elves continued to fight, eventually breaking free of the Imperium. The elves claimed the Dales in the south and settled there in the land of their own. The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of the elven gods and would allow the building of no chantry. This angered the chantry, and the hostility between the two factions finally broke out in open war. The chantry says the elves struck first, but I do not know whether to believe it. The chantry declared a wholly exalted march against the elves, named for Andraste's similar march against Tevinter. During the exalted march of the Dales, the elven cities were sacked, and the elven state completely dissolved. Some of the elves bitterly accepted their fates and surrendered to human rule, living in the human cities as second-class citizens. But others, still fiercely proud of their heritage, refused to bow to the humans, and instead became homeless wanderers. They were the elves of the Dales, the Dalish.
Well, yeah. I love Chantry. I just love those religious fanatics. They're like, well, those were our allies. They helped our worshipped prophets to fight against the old evil in this world, meaning the Tevinter Imperium. And after that, they're like, they are not letting us to build chantries and spread our influence. So we will declare them the second evil and begin the same march against elves, our former allies, as we did at the Tevinter Imperium. Wonderful. Just wonderful. Bravo. Bravo.
Andraste was the Maker's chosen. The Maker had long since abandoned the world when the sound of her singing turned his ear. Beauty, grace, and wisdom enraptured him, and he offered to take her from this flawed world to become his divine bride. But Andraste had an earthly husband and would not forsake him. Instead, she beseeched the Maker to return to his people once more. So earnest was her plea that the Maker was moved, and promised that he would create a paradise on earth if all abandoned their false gods and turned once more to him. And this is why Andraste began her exalted march on the idolaters of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker granted her his powers with which to smite her enemies. Andraste brought the Imperium to its knees, and her victories converted many to the worship of the Maker. Alas, it was the frailties of men that betrayed and killed Andraste. Her earthly husband, Maferath, a chieftain of the Alamari tribes himself, grew jealous as his wife's popularity and influence overshadowed his own. She was also revered as the Maker's betrothed, and Maferath began to see their own bond waning in significance as Andraste became ever more devoted to the Maker. Out of envy and spite, Maferath made a pact with the Archon Hessarian of Tevinter, allowing his beloved Andraste to be ambushed and captured. Andraste was burned at the stake in Minrathos, the capital of Tevinter. I have thought on this too. Did he withdraw his sight from her at that moment? Where were all the powers he bestowed upon her?
Maybe
This
he
question
doesn't
has
simply
come to me
exist.
many times, and I have no answer. Perhaps there was no way for Andraste to return to the Maker but through her death. We will never know for sure.
You know, if this is true, she could die any other way, like for example, from an old age. Or maybe naturally. Not by burning. It is a terrible death. Liliana, what is going on? Okay.
Yes. I am hardly surprised. To answer a question. The Arishok asked what is the Blight. By his curiosity, I am now here. The one who commands the Antam, the body of the Kunari. A portion of it. Were you not at Ostagar when the army was overwhelmed? That is your answer.
Okay. You're a philosophical guy, aren't you?
Yes. Never. I cannot go home. It doesn't matter now. Can we move on? We keep the dark spawn waiting. As you wish.
What do you need? Ask away. Oh, did I say that? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfells. A whole pack of them, in fact.
Yeah. The writer loved this guy. Okay.
Well, if you're going to go and pay attention to the facts, then fine. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Our Lehman wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow and put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him anymore for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough. I was young and resentful and not very pious. Of course I blamed him. I remember screaming at him like a little child. Well, I was a child, so I doubt he was surprised. Our Lehman eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, the new Arlessa resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10, just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me. I suppose you're right. I wasn't raised as the Arl's son, though, if you're picturing that. I slept in hay, out in the stables, not on silk sheets. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered. Stupid thing to do.
Yeah,
The
about
Arl
your
came by the
mother.
monastery a few times to see
We'll
how
talk
I was, but I hated
later.
her and blamed him for
When we meet
everything.
her, in fact.
And eventually, he just stopped coming. I think so, yes. This news we've heard about him being sick disturbs me, though. I wonder if we won't discover that Loghain has come to the same conclusion as we have. Anyway, that's really all there is to the story.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's been a long day. Rest would be welcome. Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken. Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time, but there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done. Oh, no. I'm not the sort of person that leaves things unfinished. I'll see this through, I promise.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Morrigan. No, thank you.
If there's anything I can do for you, please, please tell me.
Hello,
I'm
brother.
sure you'll be pleased with the good...
Hello. Ranger? Okay,
The Circle of Magi stands ready to assist, Grey Warden, as do the Templars of the Chantry.
yeah, Templars, really.
The sincerity of your cause has drawn them together under a common banner. It would not have happened otherwise.
Oh yeah, runes.
Enchantment? Enchantment! Enchantment?
What a curious shape for a blade. Just how it's supposed to slice. Okay.
Oh, look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables. The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again. I don't want it, you worthless fur bag.
Oh no.
Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative, I can tell. I do it too. As you wish.
Okay, so everyone is insulting him, so we're going to talk him with us. And who else? Probably you?
Yes.
And they're going to die a lot. Who you?
Yes.
Who again?
thank the Maker. We need help. They attacked the wagon. Please help us. Follow me. I'll take you to them.
This is going to hurt. Are you kidding me? I love this alchemy. Damn it. Let me go. You think? I wouldn't be so sure, but yeah. Without massive spells, it's gonna be hard. Okay.
Where now?
Come on, go! Not the okay. Okay. I do not like the beginning. You know, I really do not like it. My gosh. What is going on? Because there is a mage some. Yeah. This is terrible. This is just terrible. Help. Okay. Help! Please help me. Ah. Nah, we're dead. We're so dead. Okay. All right. We need to get rid of the mage. Please, 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 please. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, this hurts. This was not very pleasant, you know. Oh my. Help! Someone save me. How?
As you wish.
Stupid creatures.
You'll never know what hit him. Immediately. And I will fight to my last. It's either you or me, and it isn't gonna be me. I'm due. A little frantic. Ah, I can see why. Well, that's one less to worry about. Where now?
Okay.
Armed and dangerous, ready for action. Time for a little cleanup. Victory shall be mine. Let's make this quick, shall we? Careful. On it. Is it just me, or do you actually think you have a chance?
Good one, girl. Okay. We somehow survived.
Oh, what?
Good morning.
Oh, I rather thought I would wake up dead, or not wake up at all, as the case may be. But I see you haven't killed me yet. Of that I have no doubt. You are most skilled. If you haven't killed me, however, you must have kept me alive for some purpose, yes? Ah, so I am to be interrogated. Let me save you some time. My name is Zevran. Zev to my friends. I am a member of the Antivan Crows, brought here for the sole purpose of slaying any surviving Grey Wardens, which I have failed at, sadly. A rather taciturn fellow in the capital. Logain, I think his name was. Yes, that's it. I wasn't paid anything. The Crows, however, were paid quite handsomely, or so I understand. Which does make me about as poor as a chantry mouse, come to think of it. Being an Antivan Crow isn't for the ambitious, to be perfectly honest. I have no idea what his issues are with you. The usual, I imagine. You threaten his power, yes? Beyond that, no, I am not loyal to him. I was contracted to perform a service.
This elf is a crow. That makes sense. They are an order of assassins out of Antiva. I understand they almost run that nation, and are hired only at great expense.
Quite right. I'm surprised you haven't heard much of the crows out here. Back where I come from, we're rather infamous. Not precisely. I was in the neighborhood when the offer came. The crows get around, you see. Then, unless you're quite stuck on cutting my throat or something equally gruesome, perhaps you'd care to hear a proposal.
How would my Dalish girl react? No idea. Like, he's an elf, but he lives with people. He's certainly not one of us. Why should we spare him?
Well, here's the thing. I failed to kill you, so my life is forfeit. That's how it works. If you don't kill me, the crows will. Thing is, I like living. And you obviously are the sort to give the crows pause, so let me serve you instead. To be completely honest, I was never given much of a choice regarding joining the crows. They bought me on the slave market when I was a child. I think I paid my worth back to them plus tenfold. The only way out, however, is to sign up with someone they can't touch. Even if I did kill you now, they might just kill me on principle for failing the first time. Honestly, I'd rather take my chances with you. Possibly. I happen to know their wily ways, however. I can protect myself as well as you. Not that you seem to need much help. And if not, well, it's not as if I had many alternatives to start with, is it?
He tried to kill us. This is not something to forgive.
I think you're royally tough to kill, and utterly gorgeous. Not that I think you'll respond to simple flattery, but there are worse things in life than serving the whims of a deadly sex goddess.
Okay, you know what?
Ah, well, I suppose fair is indeed fair. What is it to be, then? All I ask is that you don't eat my remains or anything barbaric. I have nightmares about that sort of thing. No, I won't do that. Believe me, it sounds like an excellent offer, but if I leave here without you dead, the crows will be on me probably before I can even get to Denerim. And even if I could avoid them, and I might be able to, and even if I could kill your Logain, and I might, death would still await me. So, no, I can't accept such a contract. It wouldn't be right, given the circumstances. True, but even assassins must have standards.
Oh,
if you
really?
intend to kill me, I at least would have it be an honest death.
I like his accent. You know what? The last time I played as the city elf, which I loved. Yeah, being a city elf is something. And I took him into my crew, let's say. And they had a romance. And it was lovely, I must admit. But, no. Nah, not that time. Not this time. And they even told me nothing, really. Because Morgan and Alistair hate to take him into... The task was never promised to be easy. You said you could enter the Sokol Tower and you were believed. Find the small painted box, invert Enchanter Earring's office, and deliver it to the door marked dining room as agreed. Or be prepared to find yourself hunted across Ferelden. Friends of Red Jenny! Who is Red Jenny? We will never know, but...
Right.
Idiots.
This should be easy enough.
Nice. But if a darkspawn are able of hanging people, probably they are not as stupid as we might think. Oh.
On it.
Oh. I think this is rather a nice party. An old mage, Kunari, me the Dalish, and the dog. Wow. What could possibly be better?
Почему? Эти акторы либо выходят из-под контроля, либо...
My apologies. Stan, I think you've just ruined that fight. Yeah, he did. Oh, Stan, oh, Stan. Wake
would
up,
be helpful now.
Let's get started.
Stan or anyone
либо слишком
who goes around with a big sword is a mystery to me. I just don't know how to keep them alive.
As you wish. Right.
Go!
Your orders?
I go.
It's either you or me, and it's gonna be me. You had it coming! Time for a little cleanup.
Oh my. Oh dear.
Victory shall be mine! Let's get started. This should be easy enough. On it.
Cheese knife. Ha. Okay. What can be better than a cheese knife? Okay. Okay, I have some gaping wound.
Be cautious.
Oh my dear, Stan. You're Stan.
This is a golem, I believe. Damaged, perhaps beyond repair. There may be a way to reactivate it, though that is not necessarily wise.
As you wish.
Weapons at the ready.
It is done.
Oh dear. Why I don't have bombs? Okay, okay, then, guys. Tactical retreat. Or perhaps not.
Where now?
Okay, we have a problem. We have a really big problem.
Weapons at the ready. Down with you.
Let us end it.
Time for some fun. Let's get started.
Wait!
Victory shall be mine. A little frantic, ha! I can see why. Next. Weapons at the ready.
Wow! They survived. You are starting to scare me, you know,
Right.
girls. Okay.
Let's get started.
Wilhelm's special brew. I wonder who would like such a present. Okay. Oh no, no, not the emissary. Why are you doing this to me?
Victory shall be mine!
What?
Ready.
Hard to be an archer in a cramped space. It is a good thing that this game doesn't have friendly fire, because if it had, then probably my companion would be decorated with arrows. Yes. Oof. How many of you are there? Okay. Come here, come on. No? No? Okay.
Time for a little cleanup!
Yes?
Okay, they dealt with emissary. At least one good news.
As you wish.
Ready. I shall do so.
Armed and dangerous, ready for action!
Decades-old letter. What that could mean? Madam, I can assure you that the Circle of Magi is not a sacrilegious institution, and that, indeed, we operate under the supervision of the Chantry. It would make our investigation of your husband's death much easier if you would simply cooperate with us. I am disappointed to hear that you sold the golem's activation rod. I understand both it and your husband were of invaluable aid to King Merrick during the war against the race. Without the rod, we cannot discern whether Wilhelm's golem was responsible for his murder. The golem will simply have to remain where it is unless the villagers can find a means to destroy it. Our condolences to you and your son for your loss. I imagine it is of little consolation to you, but your husband is much admired here and will be missed. Make I keep you alive. Wow. Yeah, surely it would help the widow.
On it.
Why would you have a cage in your attic?
Слишком много берут.
By the Maker, we're saved!
You weren't sent by the ban, were you? To save us? So we could have just starved down here? The band gave up on us? I suppose I should be grateful that someone came at all, then. Thank you. But if you weren't sent by someone, why are you here? If you don't mind me asking. The statue outside? Why would... Oh, I think I see. You bought the control rod, didn't you? You came here looking for Sheyla. That damnable golem brought us nothing but trouble. My mother sold the rod years ago after it killed my father, and good riddance! How should I know? It must be. My father was its master, and it still killed him. Surely that's not normal behavior. My father's name was Wilhelm, mage to the Arls of Redcliffe and a hero in the war against Orlais. And what did he get? One day, my mother found him outside the tower, with so many broken bones she could barely recognize him, and Shale standing over him, just like it is now. My father deserved better than that. But if you really want to wake Shale up, well, it's yours now. This was my father's laboratory, beneath his tower. Or it was, anyhow. Look, I know you probably have more important things on your mind, but I really need your help. I know you already saved my life, and I'm grateful, but my daughter is inside the laboratory. She was afraid and ran too far in before I could stop her. I don't know how she made it past my father's defenses. One of the men tried to go after her. He was killed, but you could find her, couldn't you? I don't, it's true. I'm terrified that something's happened to her and she's lying in there, injured. I can't leave here until I know for certain. Surely you can understand that. You risked yourself to get here, didn't you? It's just a little further. That shouldn't be difficult for someone like you.
Oh yeah, except for one little tiny lovely fact. Every step of my way is is threatening to kill me, and I don't want to be killed. I have a clan to save. So, no.
How to activate it? We just used the control rod and the code phrase. Or did Mother give them the wrong one? I wouldn't be surprised. She said she never wanted to see Shale activated again. If so, I'll gladly tell you the proper phrase. Just save my little girl, I'm begging you. And then what will happen to Amalia? No, I won't tell you. I don't care what you do. If you want that bloody golem, then find my little girl.
Every time.
There are defenses my father put down here to keep strangers out. I knew about the barrier, I had the key for that, but the rest of it, well, we never came down here. Ever. You will? Thank the Maker! My father's laboratory is just past the next area, I think.
She has to be there.
Yes, because I need the golem, thank you, kind man. I've already saved your life and the life of your neighbors. Why don't you just help me, pay me properly, hmm?
Right. Let's get started.
Now that would be too easy, right? Yeah. Oh my. Oh dear. Alright.
Victory shall be mine! Time for a little cleanup! Let's get started. Armed and dangerous, ready for action! Only one shall stand!
And everyone is alive. Wow! You're growing, people. Oh, thank you. Nice. We'll give it to Stan because he's hopeless. The Journal of Enchant. Oh my. And I cannot discount the possibility of that it is having some influence over the golem, or is it my experiments? I will try to deactivate Sheyla for the time being and then deal with the demon once and for all. Let it end here. What an intriguing discovery, especially considering that the demon was attempting to keep me from it at all the costs. Get away, tricky. I shall have to be more careful. Jan Emon sent a letter asking me to return to Redcliffe. I shall have to consider it soon. Sheyla is acting strangely. I wonder if I should discontinue my experiments upon it. You were experimenting on your golem with demons, and then you are surprised that it killed you. Wow, man. But you are genius. You're able to see the consequences, possible consequences. Wow, you're wise, aren't you? The interrogation of the demon is growing well, and is rather fascinating, provided that what it is saying is true. I have sent all my researches so far to First Enchanter Arden, and while he is concerned about my safety, he does not think there is a reason to stop just yet. All I hope is that the Templars do not discover what I'm doing. Nice. So you are doing something illegal, you are afraid that the Templars will discover about it, but you are writing to the First Enchanter about it. Okay. Okay.
Right.
Don't cats like to be in trees? Oh, look! Someone's come to play. You have come to play, haven't you? We're playing a guessing game. It's better with more people. Kitty and me, of course. You don't see anyone else here, do you? Anyway, you should go if you're not going to play. Kitty finds you distracting. I can't go. Kitty says she can't come, and I'm not leaving her. She'd be lonely.
Exactly.
I would not suggest leaving in such hostile company anyhow, Amalia. Look how they act.
Of course she's a cat. She just talks, that's all.
Talking is simple enough, once you know how.
Maybe first you try to open your mouth. You know, it works sometimes.
I am a cat, really. Nothing you say will convince Amalia to go with you. She loves only me now. I am her friend, while you are just a stranger.
I have a dog. You know.
Oh, did you hear that, Amalia? I have another admirer.
That's because you're wonderful, Kitty.
I have been bound to this chamber for decades, cut off from all contact. It has been maddening. Release me, mortal, and let me have the girl. Let us return to her father and leave this place forever. Mortals often allow themselves to be blinded by hope. They see what they wish to see. If the father hopes to see his Amalia alive and unharmed, perhaps he will. No. I can hear it in your voice. You lie. You mean to deceive me. I will not allow it.
No! Kitty!
You will not take the child from me. She shall be mine forever.
Vin disapproves. Stan approves, Vin disapproves. Vin, I haven't done anything. Like, it wasn't my choice, okay? But Stan approves, at least. Oh dear. This is gonna be hard. Really hard.
What do you mean you've never climbed a tree? Oh look, someone's come to play. You have come to play, haven't you? What? Father? Oh, you can tell him I'm fine. Maybe he'll come and stay with us, too. Anyway, you should go if you're not going to play. Kitty finds you distracting. I can't go. Kitty...
I would not suggest leaving in such hostile company, and talking is simple enough, once you know how. I am a... Nothing you say will convince Amalia to go with you. She loves only me now. Oh. Release me, mortal, and let me have the girl. That's such a crude way of putting it. I do not wish to harm Amalia. I merely want to see your world through her eyes. Is that so wrong?
But Kitty wants it.
Then you reject my proposal? No. No! You will not take...
Help.
What?
On it.
How do you want me to fight her? Queen, come back to your senses, damn it.
It is done.
Watch out!
What are you screaming there? Stan, I'm interested. I'm curious. Oh, wow. Well, how do you want me to succeed in this task? Like, I need to be very persuasive. Do you know how hard it is to pursue a demon that you want the best for him? So I think I'm justified.
Right.
The Belt of Shattered Dreams gives +10 to mental resistance. And we got it from a demon who possessed a girl. And well, there was no girl anymore. Ironical.
What happened to her? Is she in there? Why hasn't she come back? She's dead. Oh, my poor butterfly. Thank you for finding her, at least. I'm grateful. The phrase to activate Sheyla is Dulan Han, if you still want that bloody thing. I wouldn't if I were you. Now I guess I'll go.
Well, somebody would be alive if your father wouldn't play with demons, so, you know. Shale isn't really to blame. And you could have watched your girl better. Or at least explain to her why she shouldn't go inside. But, well, kids. And their parents. Life is hard.
I knew that the day would come when someone would find the control rod. And not even a mage this time. Probably stumbled across the rod by accident, I suppose. Typical. It thinks these crystals are simply for show, I see. Huh. I stood here in this spot and watched the wretched little villagers scurry around me for, oh, I have no idea how long. Many, many years. I was just beginning to get used to the quiet, too. Tell me, are all the villagers dead? Some got away, then. How unfortunate.
Morrigan would love you, I think.
Perhaps. I may have forgotten after all the years of being called Gollum. Gollum, fetch me that chair. Do be a good Gollum and squash that insipid bandit. And let's not forget, Gollum, pick me up. I tire of walking. It does have the control rod, doesn't it? I am awake, so it must. I see the control rod, yet I feel... Go on, order me to do something. And, nothing. I feel nothing. I feel no compulsion to carry out its command. I suppose this means the rod is... broken? I suppose if I can't be commanded, this means I have free will, yes? It is simply, what should I do? I have no memories beyond watching this village for so long. I have no purpose. I find myself at a bit of a loss. What about it? It must have awoken
It's 10 to 0.
No? What did it intend to do with me?
Well, a golem would be helpful in fighting the darkspawn, so...
Ah, how unexpected, yet refreshing. I suppose I have two options, do I not? Go with it or go elsewhere? I do not even know what lies beyond this village. Did I? I remember that I had a former master. The mage with the furry brows who poked and prodded and barked orders. Did I kill him? I hope I did kill him. Perhaps the last order he barked was, Gollum, stop crushing my head. Ah! Thankfully. I imagine that possessing a useless control rod will make it far less inclined to treat me similarly. I watched this village for so long, unable to move or act. My memories of anything before are vague at best, so I have no idea what I want to do. I'm glad to be mobile. Is that not enough? I will follow it about then. For now, I am called Sheyla, by the way. I'm coming. Do not worry.
Horseface.
Yes.
And now, the best team ever. Sheyla disapproves? Why? Of what? Well. Well. Unfortunately, only this team won't work very good together, which is a shame. But I suppose we can go with it. Okay.
I don't understand. You look like a woman.
Oh, really? You flirting with me?
Flirting. I don't know this word. Speak the common tongue. You are a Grey Warden, so it follows that you can't be a woman. Women are priests, artisans, shopkeepers, or farmers. They don't fight. Why would women ever wish to be men? That makes no sense. Do they also wish to live on the moon? That's as attainable. One of those things can't be true. A person is born, Gunari or human or elven or dwarf. He doesn't choose that. The size of his hands, whether he is clever or foolish, the land he comes from, the color of his hair, these are beyond his control.
Well, you can control the color of your hair.
Can they? We'll see.
I don't get it.
Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower? The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most. One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone. Replaced by madness. And there is no turning back, or at least that's what they say.
But if you keep thinking about this one fateful slip, you'll probably go mad too. What a cruel world we live in. No place is stable, and no corner is safe. Lovely.
Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured,
Oh, when you should meet
if a
hunters.
mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity. Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then they are not an abomination. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me another way of looking at it.
What?
Yes? Well, here I am.
Here you are.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell, and the darkness drew me in. When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rose bush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
I have a question. Excuse me if I'm using the information we don't know now for this moment, but if you have a romance with Alistair, one time he gives you a rose that he brought from Lotharing. And Liliana is talking about the rose too. Can it be the same? Can it be the same flower? Because if it is, then Alistair just massacred her symbolism and visions and everything. Ironical, isn't it? Does it makes me Maker? Or some kind of divine? Because if the rose ends up with me, and it was the symbol of her vision, some kind of divination. Well, it can go far. Okay.
In my dream, I fell, or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the blight devours everything? I don't know. He made this world. He could destroy it. But there is so much worth saving. You're such a pessimist.
Oh no, my dear, you're just starting to think. You're starting to think, and do not disapprove me because I've made you to start it. Because you know. Well, I know. We hate people who make us think. But this thinking may lead us in interesting places. To the interesting places.
Enchantment?
Enchantment!
Oh, that. Merely reflecting on the hopeless nature of the task in front of it. The most likely outcome is that it and its companions will become a stain on some rock for the Darkspawn to tread upon. I shall be moved to a single tear by the tragedy. I think not. I am made of pure rock, skin to core. At best, I can become a pile of dust, but a smear I will definitely not leave behind. That's for softer, squishier things like itself and its friends. What's that? Did it hear flapping wings? There may be pigeons nearby. We should be alert.
Yeah.
You and your friends are formidable folk.
So it's
indeed.
time
I'm
for
sure-
a secret weapon. Yeah, Shale. Shale. Where is it?
Ooh, shiny. I see it found some augmentation crystals. I was not even aware it knew about them. Well done. So, what does it think? They don't make me look any wider, do they? I find I'm already too wide as it is. It must be the vertical pattern it put them in. Did it know to do that? It must have. I think it should find some more as soon as possible. I want to glitter from ear to ear, so to speak. I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them. Oh, it's not just that. Well, I'm sure that's part of it, but it's not only that. Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above its natural shortcomings? Then that must be it. The humans have always spoken about elves being inferior, but obviously this is their own stupidity talking.
Exactly.
I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless. Indeed. Can it imagine the horror? Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought.
I think they found each other. Okay. Tell us something nice, won't you?
What do you wish of me? If you must. My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more. I am unsure. I was too young to understand, and perhaps 'twas bravado on Flemeth's part, or perhaps she was merely amused. I will never know. Flemeth would warn them, once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait, a little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom. Me? No, I never did any of the killing, until later. And even then, Flemeth was a glutton for that sort of thing. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum. You do not know? The Zealots use that word for any magic they do not control. The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the Circle of Magi as apostates, and apostates could become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true. Still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit. Thank you for small favors, then, at the very least. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Yes. Speak, then. We have no mages such as you do. We have beasts in the shape of men who perform tricks. Some men act the part of beasts. As a fish stranded by the tide knows the air, or a drowning man knows the sea, so does a mage know magic. Can you have just a little drowning? Some things come only in excess. Sheyla, are we going to fight the Darkspawn, or chatter until they grow bored and leave? As you wish.
Sam, you are
What do you need?
unbearable.
Ask away. Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring. I keep it hidden under my pillow. Sometimes I'll take it out just so I can hug it fondly and remember the good old days. Brings a tear to the eyes, you know.
And this is how you, through a joke, present the worldview of not very little amount of people. Yeah, sometimes it scares me. Although I cannot swear I am not the same. Okay, whatever.
You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring. Poke, poke, poke. Tell me everything about your life, Alistair. All right, if you insist. It's not like we have anything better to do, right? The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it. The education, mostly, but also the discipline. You need to have a disciplined mind in order to use the abilities we have. It was difficult, but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home? You must miss them a great deal. Duncan and the Grey Wardens are the closest I ever got to that kind of family. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way. You're right. Best to concentrate on what we have to do right now.
Okay. So, we gained Sheyla. That is something to be proud of, I guess. And we'll go to Redcliffe, I guess.
Your dog is filthy. I can smell him 50 yards off. That may be so, but all the same, I would like your permission to bathe him. Excellent. I will get my soaps, and the dog shall have his bath after supper.
I love her. Win is win. I know. Is yes. Okay. So onwards and upwards then.